guess it's nesting. I've been a little crazy the last week. Ben will tell you, because I keep coming up with things for him to do also. Right now, I'm repainting all the baseboards in our bedroom after cleaning them all. I also got that new steam cleaner, power blasting steam cleaner, and I was obsessed with it, so I cleaned everything, every little tiny crevice, all of my kitchen appliances inside and out, and windows and shower doors, and went really nuts. I put in new countertop covers, which I think I have a whole video about, but I needed to finish it, so I finished that. I'm working on putting up wallpaper in the kids' room, and then I've spent the last few hours, the last couple days, repainting stuff. Doors always seem to need to be repainted around here, and just like touching up a bunch of stuff, getting around to things that I wanted to paint and I just haven't. And then I'm also like coming up with, big projects. Which is where Ben starts to stress a little. Like, I want to put in all new light fixtures, the ones that haven't been replaced yet. And we want to replace some of the furniture that I've just been meaning to and haven't. This must be nesting. And I love it because I feel so productive and I'm crossing things off that, again, like it's mostly, some of it is new stuff that I'm just like looking around and just wanting to change everything and make it all better. But a lot of it is stuff that I've known I needed to do at some point, and it was just like, not a big deal. Like this right now, these baseboards in the bedroom, they were like dingy original white. It wasn't white though, it was like a yellowy white. It was awful. But like this part is behind a chair in the bedroom, nobody's gonna see it, so like I knew that it needed finishing, but not urgently. So, you know, we've lived here like 3 years. It's gonna feel really good though when it's done, or not, because then I'm just gonna keep looking around for more things that we can get done. Ben has been out in the pasture most of the day, bush hogging, which is something that I brought up needing to be done, and it did, legitimately, but I brought it up probably 2 months ago, and he was like, yeah, eventually. Like, he definitely didn't have an interest in doing it until I started sending him all these things, like, hey, can you take this? I want to get like a new medicine cabinet mirror combination in the bathroom. Can you take this bathroom mirror down, and can we repaint all of the kitchen chairs, and can you move all of these planters from one porch to the other porch, and do you think that you could build a swing for the front porch? I think he was like, I'm out of here. I will be back when the baby is born, and you are too busy with that to do all the rest of this. What I really should be doing though is sitting down and editing all the little videos I've been making. Really exciting stuff. So you are disappointed that you've not been witnessing all of this riveting content. Well, somebody's already breaking in. I just got back from Costco. Talked about buying this for a while. I thought about getting a used one for a while, and I realized that the Costco one is, I guess, the newer version. That stuck. Hey, do you want help? Can you say help, please? Okay. Is the newer version that apparently does all these other things. I'm gonna try it. I love ice cream, but dairy alternative ice creams, you're right, that is stuck. Dairy alternative ice creams are very expensive and hard to find. I can make it at home. I put any ingredients I want in it. It's Costco. If I test it out for a couple weeks and I decide it's just an unnecessary gadget, then I can return it. On the fence about it because we have that actual margarita machine. That's a nice machine. I have my smoothie maker, Ninja smoothie maker. I have a normal blender. I have a food processor, and in my head I'm just like, what on earth could this possibly do that the rest of it doesn't? I showed a more detailed version of this on TikTok, and I feel like what these clips really are is like me mourning the loss. And also committing to really getting rid of it, because it's been sitting out like this on our dining room table probably a month. And I've been thinking about doing it for even longer. Beauty product destashing, basically. A lot of this absolutely needs to go because it's expired. I've had it for way too long. I accept it, kind of. It still hurts that I spent money on these things. I barely touched 90% of this. I mean, the makeup, I like barely touched. I know I never even used this. Completely unused. Why did I get this? I'm never gonna do loose glitter on my face. But you dig down in here and there's just a ton of stuff. It does feel better in my bathroom and at my little makeup stand and stuff. It feels just I've narrowed it down to the products that I'm currently using that aren't super old. The big picture, the intention here is to get rid of all of this so that I can ultimately go to just like some limited, really good brands that also offer like face and skin and hair care. So more, I'm talking like more all natural ingredients, totally organic, limited. I want as few ingredients as possible and ingredients that also offer some kind of benefit beyond just makeup, I guess, or hairstyling or whatever. I use the product so seldomly, clearly, that I think I can justify finding a really good quality brand that has all those added benefits. And because I so rarely do like heavy makeup, if it's something that's more just natural, offer some concealing. I mean, I got a lot of freckles and stuff, so I do like to kind of, on the eye bags and things, a little bit of help would be nice. I'm just 10 times more likely to use products that are more geared towards, helping your skin. So if anybody has any recommendations, my reward to myself for actually ditching these products is going to be investing in a brand or several brands that I really like. I think for hair products, I have sort of sorted it out. The Viori, the bars, I like a lot. I might end up eventually switching from the conditioner bars though to a liquid, whatever conditioner. I've been using it for probably 2 years now. The conditioner is just really hard to get through this much hair. I have to spend a lot of time like streaking it down my hair, I feel like. And there's like a sense of relief when I know that I just have like a bottle of conditioner instead. It's gonna be so much faster. So I might be on the hunt for a good conditioner, but I'm definitely sticking with the bar shampoo. I use their bar soap as well. And then I am liking the Olaplex. That's not really as like all natural or anything. I am liking that. And so I think pretty much all the other hair products, and I have so many, that's the crazy thing. Just going through this, all the different trial and error and just on a whim products that I bought because of marketing or whatever. If I had just like invested in something really good and researched instead, I would have actually saved money and plastic bottles and whatever, all of this just waste now, overconsumption, marketing. If you have brands like that you like, recommend them below. I have found a few, but I've just not pulled the trigger. Okay, I'm trying to call it quits with this. But now he's trying to get me to put a diaper on his toy tractor. So look it, they all have their diapers. Good job. Oh, do you want to do it? What do you see? You see your hand? See Mama's belly? What's in Mama's belly? What's in here?
Baby.
Yeah, there we go. Baby. I'm gonna get dressed at some point today and actually take you guys outside and give you a tour of the new car. The new used car. So I told you I was gonna take you along and film all of the car shopping, and then I ended up really sick that day, no voice, it was miserable. So I am gonna tell you a little bit about the cars we were looking at. My Volvo was a third row SUV, which at the time, before having kids, I thought was gonna be plenty of space. As it turns out, I quickly learned that when you actually need that third row up, there's like no trunk space. If you're trying to do any kind of road trip or even just a grocery run with all the rows up, the back row up, there's no room back there. So we wanted one that was 3 rows, but also still had ample storage space in the back and that could tow just in case. There have been situations where we've had to like borrow my mom's truck because we needed to take a trailer with us somewhere, and with 3 kids, 3 car seats, that would just be too cramped in her truck. So basically that narrowed it down to like 4 models: GMC Yukon XL, Suburban, Ford Expedition, Max, or the Cadillac Escalade ESV. They're all pretty much the same size. Of those 4 right off the bat, my least favorite was the Expedition. Ben's least favorite was the Cadillac. We were looking in the years like 2015, I think was the oldest we were looking, up to like 2020, 2019-ish, right around there. Did hear to avoid some of those years, like 2016, 2017 specifically, in some of them, there's an issue with transmissions, which explains why I was really confused why so many of them said new transmission. Yeah, we were told by a mechanic, like it was just a known thing, I think in the Yukons and the Suburbans. So we did kind of cut those years out. I will just tell you now, the one that we ended up going with was the Ford Expedition Max. I quickly changed almost instantly from it being my least favorite to absolutely hands down my favorite. That's all we ended up looking at the rest of the day. Now, again, just keep in mind, if you're like new car shopping, this could totally be inaccurate and completely different. But for me, the Yukon had a really small front window. Oh, my Tourette's is so bad this morning. It's so frustrating. This video is like all over the place because I keep having to brake. And I hated that. For being in such a big car, I felt like I was gonna constantly be trying to look over the hood and just like, I don't know, like peer around to see things. And that was almost instant. Like I sat in the front seat and was just like, this window seems tiny. I don't like this. The Cadillac, while of course it had a lot more of the features that, you know, are fun, the interior did feel much smaller. And I need to look up the exact specs. I think it was just like just allotted differently, because it is like they're all pretty much the same size. Both actually, the Cadillac and the Suburban, the second row in particular, felt like there just was not nearly as much room as the Expedition had. Really shocking thing is that I didn't like the Expedition, I thought, because based on pictures, I thought the interior and like the dashboard setup was just really ugly. I don't know. The whole like computer dashboard system, for some reason to me, just looked a lot more outdated and like, I don't know, more masculine or something. I don't even know how to explain it. However, once I saw him in person, complete opposite, 180. I thought that the Suburban's dash compared to, and just a whole interior space compared to the Expedition, looked super outdated and I did not like it. So the rest of the day we just looked at Expeditions, and in the end, of course, as this always goes, we went a little over budget, but our goal was cash, no payments at all. I've done it all the ways. I've gotten new cars with payments. I've gotten used cars with payments. I've leased cars, and Ben's always been this way. He, if it were up to him, would be driving like he actually does drive like a 20-year-old car. He will never give that thing up until it dies. He loves it. And if it weren't for me demanding like safety standards for the kids, he would stick with that. It's more important to me now to not have any kind of payments. So I've never been someone with a credit card. They scare me. I still love to like shop, keep up with some trends as much as the next person, but I do just, I've put more of a priority and emphasis on not having to worry about debt that is owed or anything like that. It just feels really, really good. So while I have absolutely loved watching all of the mom, brand new car tour videos and whatever, you look into the numbers, the financial aspects of it, and it's really frightening. And it kind of makes me sad that there's a bit of pressure or emphasis on needing these things, because I see people now, when you buy new cars, like $100,000 isn't something that is shocking, I guess, which is crazy. It should be. That's a good portion of a house. And then you look at the interest that people are paying, and you look at how upside down you get in these cars because their worth doesn't hold. It just, one glance at all of that, and that is just not for us. Car shouldn't be like more expensive monthly than your living expenses, your home. At least with a house, like you're investing in something that you'll get a return on. I'm gonna get outside and I'll give you the official tour of the car, but that is what we ended up with, and that is why. Look how dirty it is. I've gotten this car cleaned so many times, like almost once a week, because I have my appointments weekly right now. It doesn't matter. If you live on a dirt road, I get it washed, I drive down the road. This is what it looks like. Here is the interior, complete with the drinks I had today. One upgrade that is super amazing, this screen. It's like aftermarket, but Ben had it installed professionally, because the only thing that I still had to say about the inside was that I felt like the screen was just a little small coming from my Volvo. So he was like, no problem, I got this. I did do something crazy and got another panoramic roof. And after the whole Volvo thing, I had a bunch of people comment that like, yes, all cars with panoramic roofs are potentially going to suffer from this. Actually, Ben's at Home Depot right now, and I think he might be coming home with materials to start building a carport to get this thing covered until we can build our garage addition that I'm not giving up hope on. So with the rear facing car seats, you can see the issue. Granted, the seat is back a little further than normal, but this is why we needed a bigger car, because all three of our kids are rear facing right now. There's just no way. We went with the captain seats or bucket seats in the second row. I actually wanted another bench, and I still think I am a fan of the bench instead, especially with these rear facing seats, because right now, like, there's there's no room, so you can't access this hole. And that's what it becomes. It becomes like a cavern for them to drop toys and whatever else in. And nobody can access it. That seat does come out a lot easier than this one. This one does not move. It's such a pain. So this one, though, we can at least take in and out so people can, in theory, climb around. But this space is just so tiny that it would have been, I think, better used as another seat. Worst case, that is something that we can address down the road. There are some options to have it switched out. So third row also has enough space for the rear facing seat, and that was not the case in the other. Right now I also have my wonderful W4 over here. Still have plenty of space. So this is Huxley, Everett, new baby. Getting Huxley in his seat is going to be interesting. So typically people who have kids in the back row load them from back here. That's what I see. And thankfully it does have the push buttons where I can fold and raise any one of these seats, including in the second row, with just the push of a button. I really wanted that. But with the Wonderfold in here right now, and with my belly the way it is, I can't really be making that climb. So it would still be a little bit tricky. And if this is ever full of kids, it's going to be a little bit tricky. As you can see, though, even with the third row, there's still a ton of space back here. That is just not something you're going to find in like any other model in the ones I listed. I'm loving it. There's poop.
No poop. No poop.
No poop. T-Rex poop. You want help?
Can you help?
Yep, right here.
What's it?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, ah.
Ooh, ooh, ah, ah.
No poop.
It's technically a Bigfoot, but it's okay. We call him a monkey.
No poop.
No poop! Yay! This has been the laziest day. Yesterday was pretty lazy too, but at least like I knocked a couple things off my to-do list. Nothing has been done today. I don't even understand. I think it's like 5 o'clock right now. I feel like the final week's third trimester is just kind of draining me right now. And I hate that because just a week ago I was in full nesting mode, as you guys know, and like got so much done and it felt so good. I'm not only just tired, I just feel heavy and full. I just try to remind myself on these days that are not often, but still, that I kept 2 humans alive and continued to create a third, and maybe that sometimes is enough and I need to give myself a little grace, I guess. It's also just slow season for like the dog sitting, dog boarding. I do have some guests. I always have a dog somewhere that I'm looking after, but I go from like 10, 15 dogs sometimes to just like one family of dogs. And so that also just feels easy, I guess. And it always slows down this time of year. I did try out my Ninja Creamy last night. It was a total fail. And I kind of thought it might be because I was just using what I had available and not really following any of the recommendations. Whoa. Whoa. Okay.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Okay.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa.